Welcome back to our Star Trek A Day challenge. We are on episode 25, which means it's time for what is widely considered one of the best episodes of Star Trek. Something we say every episode.
But we really mean it this time.
This time is actually true. It's Devil in the Dark, which originally aired on March 9th, 1967. And let us begin now.
I have vague now officially now. I have vague recollections that I probably was not into this episode as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there's some of the better episodes that I think because they're maybe slower in pacing or there's not a whole lot of.
Yeah, I just say even though this is one of the best episodes, that matte painting barely even looked like a matte painting. It looked like a matte drawing.
This is gorgeous though. This is one of the most elaborate setups we have had so far. It is comparable to what we saw in What Are Little Girls Made Of? Yeah. Where someone went to town making caverns and rocks and everything.
You've got the crinkly tinfoil that's all spray painted, so it doesn't look like it.
I love this crew. It's really hard to appreciate that they're all scared and something dangerous is happening because they're in Easter egg pastel jumpsuits. Yeah. Which I can't remember if we've actually seen at this point yet. We'll see it later. Other people on other planets will be wearing these light-colored jumpsuits, but it stands out the most here.
So we know there's a monster, and they're a little freaked out.
Yeah. Guy in yellow's in charge, and they're all kind of nervous. It's not often. A
lot can happen in 3 minutes.
It's not often that it opens not involving the crew.
Yes.
You know?
As far as I know, this is the only episode in which the teaser, the whole scene that happens before the credits, lacks the ship or the crew.
Just, there's the mention. The Enterprise is coming, right?
Right.
We're going to be saved, right?
Exactly.
Which is kind of nice because it alludes to how there's this prestige and notoriety surrounding the Enterprise at this point in time. That, someone's going to come help them.
Yep.
But it's going to be too late for that guy.
Yeah, that guy is not going to get anything.
It's kind of my favorite kind of destruction of a person when the camera is just supposed to come up on them. And that implies that that's the monster's POV. Schmitter. Can you just call me Schmitter?
Like the rest of them. So we're clearly getting the indication that people have been burned to a crisp.
They've lost other men, don't know how many.
Yeah. It's not like just like Chang, burned to a crisp. No, it's just like the rest of them.
That they are being disintegrated. They're being cremated instantly.
Burned to a crisp.
Done.
So that raises the classic horror movie question.
Yeah.
Why'd they leave the guy alone?
Yeah, why aren't you going in at least groups of 2?
Yeah.
Or just as a giant group. If it's picking you off when you're alone.
You'll notice the guy in yellow did not leave himself alone.
No.
He had 6 guys with
he's
him.
like, hey, Schmitter, you go look over there. There goes Schmitter.
Yes, sir. Please don't call me by that derogatory name.
Poor guy. I also love how apparently it comes up so fast on you, you can't move or run from it.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. That could happen. There's the beautiful matte drawing.
Legit drawing.
I mean,
some real rock things.
It's a nice drawing.
But it's very...
But it's a drawing. It clearly looks like a drawing.
Not as good as some of the planet landscapes of buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that dude. Just doesn't even say anything. Just gestures at them. Just calm. Right. Just, can I be that person?
He's trailing them.
Yeah. That was... I'm not allowed any lines, so I gotta gesture with my hand.
It's a monster. This is the second time we've heard it referred to as the monster.
Yeah. There's some great outfits. There's just some great outfits of our belts go inside of our uniforms and then back out of them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like, you want belt loops? I'll give you one that's a foot wide.
I guess it's interesting because it implies that they didn't just go store buy a bunch of materials. They went and made these. Costume department had to go make that shit.
Yeah, I don't know if these would have been available, but it does.
It's just a weird.
At least if it was store bought, they found some interesting looking ones.
Yeah, some really weird outfits.
Yeah. Thanks, Spock.
Yeah. It's like, oh, no, we got it.
The butchering monster.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Not as cool as having an actual video monitor.
But that's still pretty cool.
But still kind of cool.
Oh. It's like how calm and obviously logical Spock is, where it is just, there's always an answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You or I or someone just haven't found it yet. But there's always an answer. It's not like always going to be an unknown.
Yeah. No, there isn't much left.
They're really trying to grind that point home that it's just bits of people left.
Right.
After the monster has gotten them.
It totally obliterates them. Because it's a freaking monster.
So 5 people are dead.
Yeah.
I know. He's like got a Beatles haircut in
and he's
pastel
so
purple.
He's so purple.
I mean, it's just really hard to be scared for this episode when it's just like men in pastels.
Big and shaggy.
No, shut.
This.
He's like, no, when I said I hit it, I hit it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not some stupid human who's like, I think I shot it.
I shot it.
Yeah.
Don't let this purple jumpsuit fool you.
I totally got it.
Yeah, I nailed that sucker.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that like Spock automatically questions him. I don't know if it's just to confirm the point or if just he doesn't believe him.
Well, at this point, he has no reason not to believe that he shot it somehow or another.
Or I guess that for him it's to confirm because he's like, all right, so this thing can take a shot and keep going.
Mm-hmm. At full speed.
I want that ball so bad.
It's just a bouncy ball.
It's a silicon nodule. Beautiful purple ball.
Yeah. They bought a bunch of bouncy balls. And
Yeah.
they painted them.
Painted in purple.
Yeah.
And I wanted so bad. I just want a bunch.
Yeah, it's a nice purple. Almost looks like a little iridescent.
Yeah.
It's got the color layering, it looks like.
He's giving a lot of...
Spock has got attitude for days.
Yeah, all in his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like, he's just... Oh. Oh. I mean, you're talking about, like, in seconds.
Yeah.
In seconds, when a human being or related life form makes contact with this creature / monster, because they've referred to it as a creature now, too, you are just instantly disintegrated into a heap of ash and bones.
It's like
and
the
teeth.
alien from Alien.
Oh.
His blood.
Oh.
Except before Alien.
Oh.
So you got spooky caves.
Yes.
You've got
in the dark.
You've got a corrosive alien.
Yes. And you don't see it yet.
This is basically Alien before Alien.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we've had... Okay.
Is it someone alone again?
So we've had
someone alone again.
We've had the Purge before the Purge.
Yeah.
And now we've got Alien before Alien.
Yeah. I just love that once again someone's alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's worked out so well before. So you think they're using like the same set over and over again, just from different angles? Oh!
Yeah, I mean that's a smart thing to do.
Oh, that looks...
I don't even see bone and teeth.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's like way less than bones and teeth.
Yeah.
That is just this is where you were before the atomic blast took you out.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by its very perfect round holes, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a skill.
Yeah,
That's a skill set. This is one of the longest shirts I've seen him wear.
Oh, yeah, he must have... Well, after the massive shrinkage of the previous episode...
Because it was going up and up and up.
Yeah, they must have...
That seems fairly long.
Yeah, they must have gotten him a new one. Still got pretty short sleeves, though.
Yeah.
Clearly, that was a thing.
I love it. He was gonna touch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you've just heard, like, he was in the room when he was like, it's a dangerous corrosive acid.
Right.
And he's all like, and so I was like, don't.
Thought I can't keep myself from touching
he's like a freaking little kid.
I have a compulsion.
Like, is it still warm? You know? So it seems like it's smart enough. It's not like some just animal. It's smart enough to go after something that's important to them.
Right.
Like, it went through a room and only hit that thing and nothing else.
Yeah. Provides heat and air and life support for the entire colony. Now, see, my concern is that the monster is smart enough to steal something that could result in all their deaths.
Yeah.
But the people aren't smart enough to have a spare part for an item which they acknowledge is like an ancient piece of equipment.
Yeah. And it keeps the
Scotty
entire
hasn't
thing...
seen a PXK in 20 years. This keeps them all alive.
Yeah.
Their lives depend on this.
And they mine a very, very important mineral, right?
Yeah.
It's important for, like, everybody.
Right. Per GM.
Whatever that is. And
yes.
so it's like, yeah, oopsie doodles.
They can't be bothered to keep spare parts around for the machine that will keep them alive.
Somehow that actually seems totally legit. Like, that happens all the time.
Probably does.
Right?
Probably does.
Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, we've got two things going on now. Like, something's killing your men, and this whole place is about to go down.
Well, something's going to kill the rest of your men really fast.
One day I will find that coffee decanter.
Oh, yeah. That's really awesome looking.
One day.
That would be worth having.
Mm-hmm. Spock really wants to go play ball.
Yeah.
He is just obsessed with that ball. I will think about it seriously behind a coffee mug. That's what that was. Just so I can give an interesting look. Like, is he...
Phaser 1. So
yes.
This is the only episode. I think it's the only episode overall in
they
which...
mentioned Phaser 1, Phaser 2?
Yeah, exactly. Because we see it all the time. The hand phaser versus the tiny little remote control phaser. Yeah. But, yeah, it's the first time they make the distinction.
So, is Spock theorizing this only based... Like, there's very little to go off of for him to suddenly be like, what if this thing is silicone-based?
Well, I think it's... Because he goes over to that silicon ball.
Yeah, and he was like, this isn't normal looking at all.
So that's probably what sparks his consideration. Because even in the 60s, the theory existed that silicon could be the basis for a different order of life. Because the shape of the silicon atom would work similarly to, I guess, the carbon atom. Get a bunch of phaser 2s.
And also... I mean...
He can't take his eyes off that thing.
He really likes shiny purple balls.
Yeah.
Now they're both in the shiny purple balls.
Is this like a Spurk episode? Is that what you're telling me?
A little bit. He has to come all the way around just to get in front of him and be like, hey, I'm here, look at me. Like...
Oh, come on. He's a Vulcan.
Ask a Vulcan to speculate. McCoy finally joins in.
Aw, he feels embarrassed to speculate.
I love that, though, because you could see McCoy smirk from farther away until he moved closer.
He could. He gets all up. He's like, really? You're going to speculate, Spock, are you?
I am waiting for
Are you going to speculate? I want to see that.
What is that saying? Ride?
Kiss it, baby it, flatter it if you have to.
Ride herd on it?
Yeah.
What is that?
That means go all the way.
The most red shirts we have ever seen.
Yeah.
That is not good.
Well, so far in the series, we haven't had that many red shirt deaths.
Yeah. 50 people have died. I think he said 5. He said 5 in the context of something else earlier. And now it's 50. It's kind of huge.
Yeah.
50 is terrifying. 5 is like, all right, you got a little bit of problem.
50 is a lot.
Yay, Jodo.
Yeah, not anymore. Now that it's broken into their little house.
Yeah, it can go anywhere it wants. Just burns in little walls.
Mm-hmm. Well, then by all means, spread out and don't stick together.
Sounds like a good idea. Okay, we got at least 2 together. 3 together? 4 together? Yeah. Whatever you do, don't split off.
I like all the colors that they worked into the
painting.
It's
It's that beautiful green, blue, purple that's just going on.
Yeah.
That's it. Split off. That seems like a good idea.
And it had to have been tricky to sort of like this set, too.
Yeah, that rock creation there is gorgeous.
Yeah. Kirk got some tight pants.
I was just gonna say what you said at first, so it's okay. Of course I'm gonna comment on his butt, but I'm like, they're right there. 2 hands in there. You saw them.
That's how you approach Kirk's butt. This is just the instinctive reaction.
2 Christmas hams.
Oh, Kirk's butt.
Yeah.
I don't even see you in the ham section of the grocery store like this. Uh-huh. Yeah, now that he's got his idea, he's got his tricorder calibrated for silicon.
Oh god,
why is this guy by himself? What happened to the other guys?
I love that the random weights or whatever that are on the sides.
Yeah, this is where they do a little exercising.
The first rule of horror films: if you're alone, you're gonna get dead.
Yeah, especially if you don't even have the rank grade.
He's gonna get dead. He got dead.
Yeah.
He got dead real fast. Well, that red shirt count just went up needlessly. Needlessly. Oh, I like that the phaser's okay.
Phaser's fine.
Good, those are expensive.
Yeah, phaser's fine. He had a chance to fire.
Yeah, I mean, he looked at it, paused, and then went, ah, and then so.
He didn't fire, but he had a chance.
He had plenty of time. He had time to scream, he had time to fire.
Right.
Yeah, Kirk's already concerned. Now he's lost one of his own.
Yeah. Now it's personal.
Aww. Spock just moves on to keep going, and Kirk is all like...
That's how you end up separated.
A dude just died. He's still there, just kind of bummed out.
Right.
But
we've seen the Galileo 7 episode. We know Spock is going to move ahead and take care of business. And it's like, well, more and later.
Yeah. Well, not more at all, maybe.
Right. Well, we know he does. He just does it in his own way. Ah!
It's so wiggly! Ah! It's so wiggly!
It's like a lasagna. It's like a scoop of lasagna.
Oh, there it went. Yeah, no shit, it's gone. You just saw it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just called fat. He just called it fat.
Yeah.
But, one of your guys is dead.
Uh-huh.
We haven't mentioned that.
Just took a bite out of it.
That's a big chunk.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk.
They got knocked off.
I also love how he just touches it. Like he's all over Kirk on like, don't touch it. It's
still pulsating.
Don't touch it. It's corrosive. And then it's like, no, I'm just gonna pick this thing up. Like it's nothing.
It's got the corrosive power to eat through rock like it doesn't exist. And I'm just gonna pick it up with my bare hands.
Do you think parts of it would be oozy in this corrosive acid?
Especially since it's still pulsating.
Yeah. Ugh, it's so gross. It's so gross. It's like the lizards when their tail doesn't get cut off.
Yeah.
And the tail keeps moving. Oh. Yeah. So it secretes acid, but we're going to pick up its body part that we knocked off.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's such a beautiful piece of prop.
Yeah.
To take the time to have it pulsate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that would read on some of the smaller screens back.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the 60s.
It's a great touch, though.
Yeah, beautiful. It's disgusting, but it's great.
Now, credit to where it's due.
Mm-hmm.
This costume was actually made by a freelancer
named
Janos Prohaska. And this guy was basically kind of like a stuntman, kind of like a costume performer. But basically, he didn't work for them, but he made his own costumes and stuff.
Okay.
And they basically had an open door policy where it's like, anytime you make an interesting costume or something, some kind of creature, bring it around, and if we like it...
Because we need that stuff.
Yeah, bring it around. If we like it, we will hire you to play it.
So he's in there?
So, yeah, exactly. So, he made this creature, and he brought it over to, Gene Coon's office.
So you're saying, did they already have the episode in mind, or did they write the episode around it?
They wrote the episode around it. Brought it to Gene Coon's office, showed it to him, and then they were like, oh, that's fantastic. And he goes, Gene Coon goes...
Can you imagine putting it on and showing them?
An episode in 4 days, which is
And then it's one of the best ones ever made.
Yeah.
Can you imagine bringing that over to some guy's office, getting it on, and then wiggling around the floor? I would have loved to have seen that.
I think he brought him and a couple other producers out to the parking lot.
And he just
goes around behind his truck and then comes out. Oh, that's fantastic.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. It's very imaginative. Especially when you're just creating it on your own, you know? You don't know if you're going to make money with it.
And personally, I've never seen anyone do that type of performance acrobatic work until we saw the Cirque du Soleil show. I think it's Caw.
Mm-hmm.
That there's the amazing guy in the starfish costume.
Oh, yeah.
And the centipede costume or something.
Mm-hmm.
In that sand stage.
Right.
And they're all doing this amazing wiggling around and kind of flipping and flopping.
Yeah.
Per what those animals are capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time I've seen performance work like that.
Yeah.
It's not that usual.
I know.
It requires so much physical skill too.
Right, especially when you're shooting a TV show where you've got to be in that thing for hours, for days, basically.
Yeah. I still don't quite know how I moved around in it. Spock says what? Aw. It's Mommy and Daddy of the Enterprise are arguing, because one says capture it and the other says kill that fucking thing. It's personally killed one of their own. It's killed apparently up to 50 people up here, and Spock wants to capture it.
And it totally came at them.
Yes. But I mean, it seems...
Oh, he's taking him off the hunting detail.
Yeah, but it seems grossly illogical. Why in the world would you suggest... one, I didn't give that order, and why would you suggest that when it is killing people?
Yeah.
Tell me the odds. 2-1.
That was pretty odds, huh?
Of course.
Of course.
I like it when he's kind of teasing / pandering him.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Like, alright, fine. It's a little back and forth.
Yeah. It's adorable.
But he's a little pissy because he's just like, why? What is with this whole like capture? I don't care about like your scientific interests.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. They're dead. Everyone's dead. God. We're all dead.
Well, that's dumb. It secretes corrosive acid, and his bright idea is fine. We got some clubs.
This is their mind. This is their home, basically.
Yeah. So you leave, you get the proper tools to fight it, and you come back. You don't stupidly lose more men by poking at it with a stick.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe his weakness is sticks.
I love the Easter egg brigade here.
Yeah, I know. Now, this episode, we don't see any Sulu, and we also don't see any Uhura.
Because they're rarely, well, Uhura's like never part of the away team.
Right.
And Sulu is only half the time. We just get some more But
interestingly, we also see practically no Enterprise. Like, we haven't spent any time in the Enterprise so far. Some
Vulcan senses are tingling. That's like a little unsettling. He's like, intuition is like a gut feeling. He's like, no.
No, we're actually being watched.
It's like, you're not telling me how. Like, how are we being, how do you know this?
I guess what we should do then is split up.
No, you shouldn't separate. At least they discuss it. At least they're discussing, okay, yes, we are going to separate. The tunnels meet again, so we'll just zip through and meet each other.
A little further down.
Yeah. I also love that, like, Spock just watches him go on for forever until he's like, you know?
He doesn't actually separate.
I feel like he doesn't actually trust Kirk to be okay on his own. He's like, I'm just going to watch him until I can't see him anymore. And then I'll go.
Yeah.
I also love how they each approach going through a tunnel, which Kirk sachets sideways down it.
Yeah. Well, he ducks down it, and then Spock duck walks.
Yeah. Pretty dangerous, because you can't really move out of that thing if it comes to get you.
There's no dodging or weaving in there.
Oh, more purple balls for Spock.
Balls.
He's got a great, like, wrist flick going on with that. He's so into, like, don't touch or mess up anything.
Because he already suspects the answer. Oh, no!
No! I love this bit so much. It's a very big deal. He goes from saying Captain to Jim.
Yeah, he's screaming Jim.
It goes from being official to
Jim!
I am terrified for you.
Yeah.
My feelings are showing. Those are very specific feelings to go from saying Captain to Jim.
Yeah.
And from walking to running. And he's the one having to calm down Spock. Like, it's okay. It's like, I'm fine.
It's cool.
And don't forget, like, if you keep going, the tunnel, like, you'll find it. Yeah.
Oh no!
I think he has to watch it.
Yeah. And that's how it eats through walls.
Yeah.
It basically looks like a phaser blast.
Yeah. Blurp, blurp. Blurp, blurp, blurp. He's boned.
It's like, oh no!
He's like, so I'm fucked. This is happening. It's happening right now.
So the monster, or one of the monsters.
Yep. I just like that it's not moving at first, and then
So it clearly has an awareness
Yes.
of the phaser.
Yes.
And what it can do.
Yes.
After it shot off part of its skin.
I love that it also keeps testing its boundaries, too.
Yeah.
It's like, no. He's like, alright, so if I point the phaser at it, it stays back.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're just gonna keep playing this game. It's obviously very smart, though. It went sideways!
Yeah.
He turns his back on him. He's like... mildly amused by it.
Yeah, doesn't he realize how fast the thing can go?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the creature is in this area. Kill it! Wait, didn't you just want to capture it?
Yes. They had a total, like, almost verbal disagreement on, like, Spock wants to lie, Kirk is like, screw that, dead. Yeah. And then the second that Kirk is in danger, no one else, Kirk's in danger, Spock's like, kill it! Let's kill it now!
I remind you, it's a proven killer.
Yes. Like, Kirk's well aware of this.
Yeah.
Spock was the one who's all like, life is important. But the second that Kirk's life is on the line,
and now they did actually get clubs.
Yeah, legit got sticks. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the purple guy is holding, that metal one,
silver bat,
is the one from the transporter room that Kirk was using on Spock on this side of paradise.
I love how he's, like, tired, like, in the sense of, like, seriously, we're actually playing, like, some weird game here?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're
am
not...
I gonna try to talk to...
Oh, because you're not advancing on me, but I can't get away from you. Oh, it showed him his boo-boo. I've had these conversations with, like, animals I'm trying to befriend, where...
here comes Spock.
Oh, it's a little boo-boo with, like, Sharpie marks and everything.
Like, is that it bleeding its own blood?
I guess so.
Is that what that is? Because that's pretty gross.
It's super gross.
It's pretty big. It's glistening.
Yeah. Well, it sparkles in general. Kirk is like, he's letting you through. Come join me. Come join me while we are basically cornered by it.
Oh, he's trying to figure out what it is that we're doing here.
Because Kirk is not generally interested. I mean, he's not into killing things
unnecessarily.
Yeah, like for here it was legit. Like this thing like kills you in an instant, and it's killed a lot of people. It's now killed Enterprise crew.
Yeah. Abstractly, you have to regard it as being
and
dangerous
you have to give
aggressor.
And you have to give the order of like kill it on sight before it kills you, basically. But now that it's not, doing anything, he's like, all right, we can just watch it.
He seems surprised.
No, it's just like Spock is so focused. You can almost hear the gears winding. I think Kirk is like, are you even like paying attention here? Like, that's weird because it kind of talk about that like Kirk's never heard about it or he needs to remind him. We've already seen the Vulcan mind meld a couple times by now.
Yeah.
So the audience doesn't need to know.
Right.
A reminder of that.
Well, I mean, you can't assume that everyone's watched every episode.
Yeah.
But I love that they take this opportunity to explain, like, oh, you make yourself so vulnerable and it's uncomfortable.
It's not done willy-nilly. It's like very personal. And only done in the most extreme cases. Right.
Or the most intimate situations.
Yes, that too. Obviously some great acting by Nimoy.
Yeah. Now again, this thing secretes
I know, corrosive acid. But
oh.
Yeah, I know. He's not even touching it, and then he's able to already get a mental link with it. It's very hard to commit yourself so completely on such a difficult performance like this.
Yeah, such an extreme emotional reaction.
And Shatner got in trouble with Nimoy one time.
Messing with him.
Making fun of it. Like, not meaning to be a dick about it, but, because this is the episode, specifically, very unfortunately, where, Shatner had to leave the set because he got a call that his father had died.
Right, and it was apparently quite sudden, too.
Yeah, it was like, I think he had a heart attack when he was on a golf course or something.
Mm-hmm.
I love it! It knows English and has great writing abilities. That's kind of amazing. Take it on a circus tour around the galaxy, dude. Like, seriously. But yeah, so he took off to do the funeral arrangements and all that business, and then came back. So I believe it's when he is doing that like little weird face off back and forth with the creature. Like that was he had just come back from or had found out about his dad's death that day. Something where he's kind of was a space cadet.
Yeah.
You don't read it in his performance at all, but he was
apparently he was very much a trooper and worked right through the whole process.
Yeah, although I guess Nimoy relates that he was a bit like Shatner recalls himself being fine. Nimoy recalls it like he was a bit
off.
A bit out of sorts.
Yeah,
you know, as you would be. But when Shatner returned, and he was either needing some help or something in regards to this, and Nimoy.
Well, they had shot Nimoy's shots.
Mm-hmm.
They shot everything they could without shooting
Shatner
Captain Kirk there.
Yeah.
And they needed to shoot Kirk's reactions
to
what
that,
was going on.
to the mind meld specifically. Mm-hmm. And so Nimoy took the time that he was going to perform it like in front of Shatner so you can have an idea of what had happened in the scene and stuff like that. And Nimoy being Nimoy, excellent actor that he was, like fully committed to it.
Well, egged on by Shatner a little bit.
Yeah, and again, you've got a method actor with what is the opposite of a method actor? Just, I mean, Shatner reads lines, you know, that's what he does. I'll say a reactionary kind of actor. And so he laughed, and he made some type of quip.
Yeah, it was like, can somebody get this guy a Tylenol?
Right after Nimoy had done this whole pain thing, and like I guess Nimoy did not talk to him for like a week.
Yeah, he was mad,
and I was kind of like,
he was mad.
I mean, because obviously as an actor, you're generally insecure, and especially something like this where you are just bearing all, you are just fully committed and you're raw.
Yeah.
And someone that maybe you are considering a friend at that point, and also a peer, fucks with you, you're gonna be justifiably pissed off at them. At the same time, I was like, you couldn't cut the guy some slack. Like, his dad just died. Like, come on. But seriously, don't make fun of actors when they're taking the time to rehearse with you and give you like a full like
when he's taking themselves that seriously. Now I don't quite get why Spock would mind meld with it by putting his hand right on the throbbing part.
Yeah, and also because we already saw that he didn't need to actually touch it to apparently already get these vibes off of it.
Right, but maybe that was just like too general, like all you feel is pain, but here you've got to actually communicate intricate concepts.
You're able to speak with it in your mind. But seriously, I mean, these types of roles are insane. They're the ones that people can easily make fun of because it's like if you write it on paper, you're like, dude, mind melds with rock is very emotional. Like, it sounds ridiculous, you know, but really comes down to how much you want to appreciate acting and what performance like is.
Yeah, he's a healer. Let him heal.
Yeah, Nimoy commits to it, and you feel it. Like, it's like if you laugh, it might be because you're feeling uncomfortable with seeing someone who is committed to their art.
Right. And really, we see Shatner like just go that far with his performances way more frequently than any other actor on the show.
Yeah.
Because his character is called upon to go to those extremes.
Yes.
Frequently is put in extreme pain or emotional distress or whatever.
I
He's like, seriously?
I love that they call McCoy down, because I just love the idea of, like, it's the three of them, and especially Kirk, like, I was like, well, McCoy's a doctor. Like, scenarios like this probably happen all the time. McCoy's a doctor. He can fix it.
Mm-hmm. I'm a doctor, not a
and
bricklayer.
is that one?
This is the first
time he does the I'm a doctor, not a blank. Yeah. First, but not the last.
No, definitely.
But it's great because he's like, all right, it's hurt. Who do we know that can fix things? Like, you think you would call Scotty before calling McCoy?
No, I would not call Scotty.
Well, when it's like just some weird creature-y thing, I'd be like, go tinker with it, Scotty. You know. But no.
Well, so... I would wonder if there wasn't some kind of a officer on the Enterprise whose specialty was biology or something like that.
But apparently McCoy, I mean...
But McCoy is a genius, so...
Well, and he's a doctor. He's gonna know how to work with different life forms. But for him, he's like, I've not worked with a silicone-based life form before. Like, Vulcans are still carbon-based and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I just love that McCoy is like, seriously, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Aww. I just love the vague but grand terms.
Mm-hmm.
Vault of Tomorrow and Age of Chambers, that was called? Chamber of Ages? Oh, yeah. That's kind of serious.
Mm-hmm. Even aliens with no faces don't like their children being murdered.
Yeah. But that's what is now... Like, obviously, the kind of the point of the episode is...
It's a really great blending job on it.
Oh, it really is. Is don't... appearances can be deceiving. Like, don't judge, basically, a book by its cover.
Right.
And, like... what is strange or different to you? Like, don't be scared of it, or don't... I don't know. Yeah, it's a fact that it is an intelligent creature and it has children, and the reason it's attacking is because unknowingly the excavation crew guys drilled into this creature's home and didn't know these ball things are the babies in eggs or whatever, and they murdered like thousands of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this creature...
These guys are on a blood hunt.
Yeah, so this creature is retaliating because, like, thousands of its offspring have been annihilated.
Yeah.
It is doing the normal thing that any creature, high intelligence or low intelligence, will do.
Yeah.
And retaliate to try to save itself and its own. And they only see it as, well, it just must be some bloodthirsty, mindless monster.
Oh, there's a lot of broken eggs.
And that's all it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we think that way a lot. We assume these really generic reactions of animals, of things we don't
animals,
know.
Of people who are a different religion or
if it's
race
different from you,
or
it just must be evil in me and not have a reason to do it, like a logical reason. It has a very logical reason for doing what it's doing.
Yeah.
McCoy is pissed.
He looks like he's being swallowed by it.
Yeah. I also love that we've probably missed an earlier part of the conversation where he just explained what he needed, and then someone argued with him or gave him a lot of questions. It's like, what do you want? Really? Yeah. For what? Why? Seriously? And he's like, just get me the freaking thing I told you to.
Mm-hmm.
Now. Just do it. He's got tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Aww. This entire time he's still, like, melding with it. No one's pulled him off.
No.
He's in deep.
Spock, hello, McFly.
Yeah, he was in deep with him.
Yeah.
Aww. Also love that the entire time the mind meld was wah 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 sound until he pulls off. Aww, Million. Oh God.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, no wonder it attacked.
Oh, sneak attack on the red shirt.
Killed his babies. Oh, they keep. There's no reason to keep beating him. They just maybe murdered that dude.
Pretty messed up.
One thing to knock someone out. Yes, this is. He's like, I am in the middle of trying something, working on it. No. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty aggressive.
That's right. General Order 24. I'll have the Enterprise destroy the entire planet.
Yes. Yeah. Now who should feel shitty?
Oh,
it's you guys.
Eggs.
50 men, thousands of babies.
Killed the babies.
And there's a name.
Mm-hmm.
The monster's got a name.
Yeah. You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Horta. Oh. Well, it should have maybe been millions, but now it's thousands. Until you murdered children, and then it will straight up kill you.
She was fine with you being here.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, because you didn't even know it existed.
Right.
Until you went in this lower level.
And killed the eggs. Scrambled the eggs.
I love that the chief actually kind of starts to feel bad. He's like, oh.
He should. I mean, anybody should. That's the point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, reasonably, some people would be like, I don't care, it's not human. Like, or it's just a monster. But, like, he actually is like, oh. Like, I feel really bad about the situation now. But they're also like, okay, so I feel bad, but you're telling me that there's thousands of those dudes who are going to be around now, and we have a job to do.
Yeah.
It's just the cutest little thing. It's like, let's work in harmony. It naturally, like, bores through rock. Yeah. It's what it does. Oh. Everybody's happy. They will make so much money.
Thousands of times more profitable. Now, we're not sure what this really means because... I mean, I guess it hasn't been clearly established yet, but in the future, there's supposed to be no money.
Yeah, they're kind of back and forth on the whole.
Yeah, they're. I'm beginning to think I can cure a rainy day.
I love how, like, he doesn't even know, but he's like, I got it, I'm good. Thermo concrete. I love how he just magically knows this. He's like, I've never worked with a silicone-based life form.
He took a shot. He tried it, and then is like, holy shit, it works!
But he's like 100% confident that he has cured it. He's just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm amazing. I'm kind of God. You know? Oh. He likes it.
Yeah. Now, how do they talk to it after Spock leaves? That's another question.
Right? Well, I mean, it obviously... is intelligent because it didn't need to have a mental connection with Kirk.
Right.
Like, there was a very simple kind of basically miming thing going on.
Yeah.
She's cute. Rocking that side hair.
Yeah, I suppose they could... I mean, it can obviously see, because it knew when he was aiming a phaser at it.
We don't know where its eyes are, but whatever. And everyone's happy.
Aww.
Yeah, they're making bank off these animals.
See, what would they have done if the Enterprise hadn't come? They all would have suffocated within, like, days.
Yeah, basically.
And the place would have gone nuclear. Because they don't carry spare parts. The fuck?
Yes. I love that. Revolting.
Oh, she did she?
Those ears.
Oh. He's like, are you serious? Oh. Not their close examination.
Oh.
How dare you?
You
How
whore!
Very dare you, sir.
He wanted to be like, you whore! How dare you say that?
And this is kind of like the beginning of where this formula where they would end on a little lighthearted joke.
Yeah.
You know?
However
like,
serious the situation was.
Most of the episodes end kind of more thoughtfully.
Mm-hmm.
But from here on in, we start to see more of these little, the little wink and a nod kind of an ending.
Yes, hugging buddies kind of thing.
And this was the only episode in which we have no speaking lines for women at all.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Well,
there was no Uhura.
I'd say no speaking, but the Horda is a girl but doesn't speak.
Right.
But it is a girl.
Right. So, yeah.
I am obsessed with the Horda, like obsessed with it.
So this was like the classic, ideal, perfect Star Trek episode.
Monster murder mystery is what it is.
Where we are faced with a threat, a creature, an alien thing that's outside of our understanding.
Yeah.
And threatens us, but in the end, we understand that it's just like us. It's just another person, albeit looking weird.
Yeah, and it's like a valuable lesson you should have for in life in general.
Right, exactly. And so that's why this is really kind of like an archetype of the Star Trek episode.
Yes, I mean the moral of the story is basically what Spock says in the beginning, where he is like, there's always an answer, it's just you haven't found it yet.
Yep.
And it's like it's not just doing it, because it's a monster, because it's evil or something like that. There's a reason for this.
Exactly.
You haven't taken the time to find out what it is yet.
Exactly.
Because you gotta poke it with sticks.
Mm-hmm. So that was Devil in the Dark.
They murdered his babies.
They murdered a lot of babies.
So many babies.
Pretty freaking forgiving to make up and be friends after they murdered a lot of your babies. But
yeah, I mean it makes a lot of babies,
for you. Apparently, Hordas don't hold grudges.
No.
All right. So next episode we'll be watching Errand of Mercy, in which we will, for the very first time, but not for the last time, meet a little fellow known as a Klingon.
Yay!
So, come join us for that.